man had just been released after serving his sentence. He immediately brought his son to look for a job. Unexpectedly, he discovered that the boss was his ex-wife, who had abandoned him 8 years ago. After seeing the child beside the man, the woman assumed he was already married with a child, and her face showed clear disappointment. But just then, the woman's fiancé suddenly appeared. Seeing how close the two were, the man made an excuse that he wasn't fit for the job and left with his son. This made the woman feel very conflicted inside. However, after she got off work, the boy suddenly blocked her way. He said they were so poor they couldn't even afford food, so he secretly came to find her without his father's knowledge, hoping she could give his father a job. Hearing this, the woman asked curiously where his mother was. Unexpectedly, the boy said he didn't have a mother. She thought the boy was lying, so she asked him what his name was. To her surprise, the boy's name was the very one she and the man had agreed upon 8 years ago for their future child. In that instant, the woman realized the boy might be her biological son. It wasn't until she heard the boy say he was 8 years old that she confirmed he was indeed her own child. It turned out that 8 years ago, the man and woman were a loving married couple. But because the man worked as a debt collector, he constantly lived a dangerous life. His pregnant wife worried for his safety and urged him to quit early. But before she could finish her words, his enemies showed up at their door. In order to protect his pregnant wife, the man intentionally injured someone and was sentenced to 3 years in prison. Seeing this, the woman's mother forced her to divorce him and even lied that the man had been sentenced to 30 years. She also claimed their child, who was born prematurely, had died. And so, under her mother's manipulation, the woman divorced the man. Later, the woman's mother took the baby to the prison. When the man saw his wife was so cruel as to divorce him, he gave up all hope and signed the divorce papers without hesitation. Even their child was sent to an orphanage by the woman's mother. 3 years passed quickly. Due to good behavior, the man was released early. After his release, he rushed to the orphanage. After completing a series of procedures, he finally brought home the son he had longed for day and night. From then on, father and son depended on each other. The man delivered food to support the household, but because he also had to take care of his son, he was often complained about by customers. This made the manager very unhappy, and after scolding him harshly, fired him. But to support his son, the man searched everywhere for a job. Yet because of his criminal record, no company would hire him. Just when the man felt hopeless, he accidentally saw a company hiring a driver, so he took his son to apply. To his surprise, the company owner turned out to be his ex-wife. Thus, the two crossed paths again. That's when the woman discovered the truth. She questioned the man about who the child's mother was. When the man revealed the boy was the one her mother had sent to the orphanage 8 years ago, she finally realized her mother had lied to her back then. But no matter how she explained, the man refused to forgive what she had done. After all, she was the one who abandoned him first. Now showing up was only disturbing the life he had with his son. Saying this, the man left with his son. Everything that happened left the woman heartbroken. So the next day, she went alone to the man's place and said bluntly that because of the premature birth 8 years ago, her body had been damaged, leaving her unable to have more children. She had come to get custody of her son and take him abroad to live with her, but the man firmly refused. Seeing this, the woman offered him $1 million to give up custody, but the man not only refused the money, he insisted on keeping the child with him. Left with no choice, the woman proposed to spend one day with the boy. If they couldn't get along well, she would never see him again. Hearing this, the man softened. Thinking she was still the child's mother, he agreed. The next day, the woman took the boy to an amusement park. It was the boy's first time experiencing such things, and he was very happy. That night, he even brought back a steak for his dad from the restaurant and showed him the computer the woman had given him. He happily said he wouldn't have to share with others in computer class anymore. Only then did the man realize how much he had failed his son. If the boy stayed with him, his future would be bleak. But before the man could make a decision about letting the boy live with his ex-wife, their landlord suddenly showed up the next day, saying that if the man didn't pay the rent, they would be kicked out. When the landlord learned the man had no money, he ordered people to trash the place. Seeing this, the man knelt down and begged for more time. The landlord agreed to give him one more day before leaving. When the boy came home from school that evening and saw the mess, he immediately knew the landlord had come. he quietly began packing things up. Seeing how sensible his son was, the man couldn't bear for him to suffer any longer. He finally decided to let the boy live with his ex-wife.